Hey guys! So you might have seen our videos on our all Disney official princesses bad role models, which we split into two parts. Part one on Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, Ariel, Belle, and Jasmine, and part two is on Pocahontas, Mulan, Tiana, Rapunzel, Merida, and Moana. If you haven't watched them, then check it out right now. When we recorded this debate, the total footage added up to just under 3 hours. And the part one and part two videos only add up to just under 50 minutes of footage. So we've decided to release a separate video for each of the princesses to show you all our points for each princess. So we aren't missing anything out. Hope you guys enjoy it. For this video, the princess we'll be focusing on is Ariel.
So I do like her. She's like a free spirit teenager who I kind of appreciate. But the thing I didn't quite, I don't know. She just seemed a bit spoiled for me in a way. Like she thinks she could just do anything, and the fact is she doesn't quite appreciate or respect her family in some ways. Like they were doing a musical rehearsal or like a celebration, I think, at the beginning, and she missed it. And she probably knew how much it meant for her father and Sebastian, and that just kind of shows how like she's not very that caring, if you know what I mean. And I know there's like a huge argument saying like how Triton is so overprotective, but he's still trying to be like a good father at the way. And I don't think Ariel kind of respects that. She doesn't respect how he's trying to keep her safe, not trying to look her up, but like trying to tell her how she's risking her life in some ways at a young age, and he doesn't want to lose her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and actually I've got down here that both of them, King Triton and Ariel, I think we see a lot of similar traits between both of them. We can see that they're both impulsive, Triton like destroying her collection, and then Ariel settling with the deal with Ursula. Like that was very impulsive. She didn't even think about it. She just signed it straight away. And then we also see that they don't communicate properly with each other. They don't listen. He's trying to protect her because he knows that, something happened to her mum. And, he doesn't want that to happen to his own daughter. But she doesn't understand that, or maybe she doesn't know. I'm not really sure what was going on then. But, and then she never, really said much about her curiosity about the world. She only collected all of that stuff, and then he found it. And then, the huge argument happened, and then, drove both of them apart. So, I think those are two bad role model points. But at the same time, we could take those and take them into a teaching point, which is like, don't be impulsive. Think about what you're going to do. Like, weigh up the pros and cons. Is that a good idea? Is that not? But saying that, sometimes being impulsive is probably a good thing, because, sometimes having that choice, like too many choices, sometimes, you make the bad decision. So, it's just about, thinking and just thinking about the situation, and listening. I mean, that's always that. Sorry, I was just going to say.
I was just going to say she wasn't quite thinking clear in those situations at the time. Like when she went to the Sea Witch, she wasn't thinking well enough. And I could get to that point later. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say, like listening, that, the importance of listening and, communicating with each other. So respecting what other people are saying and seeing their point of view, but then, also going and saying what you think, So I think those are like teaching points as well. Like, so they did make her a bad role model, but it's up to maybe kids who are old enough to actually understand, those are bad points, but, we can think about it and, make it better.
Kids can relate to her more because she is being a normal teenager. She's going out, she's disobeying her parents, and as bad as that is, at the end, it's a good story. She ends up on good terms with her dad, and it turns out okay on the end, but kids can relate to her more because she's not just cooking and cleaning. she's actually going out and going on adventures and living her life as well as she can, even under like her dad's protective ruling.
But when she went to the Sea Witch, there's a deleted scene from the film where it kind of explains that Ariel knew her, like she knew who Ursula was, what she does. She knows she's an evil witch. So all of that, she has that information. She still went for her help. That's like going to a criminal and asking, "Oh, can you help me kill someone?" And like, yeah, I'll help you.
Oh, yeah.
How stupid can you be to go to someone that evil just to risk doing something? And that leads to another point. So when she saw Prince Eric, she says she's in love with him. Like, she barely knew him. Again, this is like the old stages of the princesses: Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, love at first sight. But she gave up her tail, her voice, her life in the ocean, her family, all for one guy.
Or for a man.
What does he do for her? Besides at the end, but what does he actually do for her during that time? Like, what does he give up? Nothing. It just gives a bad.
And then as soon as, and when he's falling in love with her, as soon as another girl comes along with the voice that he dreamed about, he dropped her immediately.
No, but he was under the spell. But even at that time,
he still dropped her.
Yeah, but she still wouldn't. It's just kind of irritating in a way, like how she gives a message to girls, like, if you got a crush on someone, make sure you get their attention no matter what. Give up everything you have just so you can be with them. I mean, that's just like dropping her independence about herself, dropping everything who she is, what she is. I mean, I wouldn't give up being a second if I'm not being myself. It's not all right. It's like saying give up everything that makes you who you are.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is literally why I think she is a bad role model. Like, you know, she actually does go through the physical transformation and she gives up her voice. So it's telling us, you know, girls should just do that, you know. They should change who they are for someone, which...
No, and it's also kind of symbolic because she is giving up her voice. So she's giving up all her opinions. She's giving up her point of view, anything to like go against what the guy would say. She's giving up her actual voice and statements of what she could put across.
Yeah,
and
you're right. She does give up her entire life for a guy she never really even talked to.
She didn't even meet him. She saw him on the boat. He didn't even see her. He only heard her voice, and that was it.
And it was like so quick. She gives it up. So they get together, and then she just goes, "Oh, whoop, I'm living on land." Like, hold on, you got time. No need to rush. You know, but it's also, you know, in that time, you know, that whole thing. And yeah, I guess another point, like, you know, she was not really aware of her surroundings. You know, there was that part with the shark where Flounder is like, you know, we should leave. You know, it's dangerous. She's not really, you know. But again, I think that is a teaching point. You know, think about where you are. You know?
I'm glad you're kind of helping me with this kind of like argument.
We agree.
But,
I've got some good ones though. Don't worry.
I was just gonna say, there was this like one plot hole. Like, if she lost her voice and she couldn't speak to the prince, why couldn't she write to the prince?
Just say I guess she'd never written before. She was under the water.
She did when she was signing her contract. She written her name. Obviously,
she can write her name,
but she obviously knows how to write.
But I guess her voice applies to everything, doesn't it? So her voice could have been writing as well, because technically that is her voice, that's her opinions, that's everything going on there. Again, we don't want to dive too much into it because it's a movie. So if we start picking it all apart, we're gonna hate Disney. So.
I mean, I'm just gonna say one thing. I doubt that she can actually write English. We see that she writes English because, you know, if she wrote some like random gibberish, then we'd be like, what on earth is she writing? So I think, you know, they had to be in English. So she probably wrote in whatever language she knows. But Eric obviously doesn't know whatever language she knows, so it's not really.
She could have tried.
But then at the same time, they're communicating in English. He's talking to her in English and she's understanding. But like, even though they're like speaking the same language, that doesn't mean they write the same. So it still applies.
But yeah, I
very
mean,
good point.
even though I do think she is probably the worst role model out of all of the princesses, there are some good things, So she still had that, that confidence, to look into and research something new. She was really curious, and
I respect that. I really respect that.
And I think that's actually a really good message, We if we're curious, we shouldn't just, give up. We should keep on looking. We should keep on researching,
Mhm. I agree.
And then another one was that, no dream's too big or too small. So her dream was, okay, so maybe her dream was to end up with him, to get to know him and
But
all
at
that.
the start, it was to walk on land. It was to walk amongst their world. It wasn't always to do with him. It was still fueled by her dream of wanting to be one of them.
Yeah, to explore the human world. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
After all her sacrifice to giving up her voice, her tail for the prince, she didn't realize the consequences of her actions. So if Ursula got her way, then that would mean Ariel would have ruined everything, not just for her, but for everyone. So like Ursula would have ruled over the seas, Triton wouldn't be king anymore, everything, like everyone would have.
She probably would have ruled over the human world as well. Because she would have had Prince Eric, who would have become king, and then she would have had land and sea.
Exactly.
Gonna end it with this quote: "Life is full of tough choices, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Well, like,
It
that's
is.
a lot to be said there.
Yeah, and Ariel made a stupid choice.
Choices, tons.
Multiple.
What was she thinking?
It's a good film.
Yeah, it is
a
a
great
good film.
But once you start analyzing and picking things apart,
she may have seashells,
ruins
but
it.
she doesn't. She may have seashells, but she doesn't have any brain cells. That's what I can say.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Ow.
That's all my points.
That's all my points too. Sorry, I had a lot of bad ones for that one.
After that,
thank you, Emily. You're doing my job.
That's how I sound. Like I'm on the fence, like good and bad.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a like, thumbs up, comment, subscription, everything. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our content, and make sure to share our Disney debate videos to any Disney fans you know of. Please leave us a comment below to let us know what other Disney debates you would like to see, or if there's any other specific Disney content you'd like us to do. Till next time, bye from all of us at the Debate Hut. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.